Now, how many of us remember Papa Shirandula? Yes, the famous Papa Shirandula. My guest today is a very interesting lady who had the pleasure of acting in that particular series, and how she transitioned into motherhood and later full-time ministry as part of the journey she's going to be sharing with us here on A Woman's Journal. But just a quick reminder, tufuate pale katika mitandao ya kijamii, and you can hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss out on the episodes we upload. Let's get to it. Now, I'm super excited to be having a conversation with the guest that I have today because we saw her, she disappeared, now she resurfaced. I am curious to know what that journey has been like. She's just smiling like, girl. Alikuwa ananiuliza kama kuna rehearsal. Kama kuna rehearsal ya interview. Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
It is so good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, tunaonanga tu kwa mitandao kule Instagram.
Yes, and today we are here.
Tuko kwa ground.
Face to face.
Yeah.
It's so good to be here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Aki niko tu tempted kusema Naliaka.
It's okay. Because, I mean, that's a name that a lot of people know me.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I was on screen for a very long time until my father passed. And it's very hard to remove that name from people.
Even before we unpack that, unajua kuna kajenzi kako. What are we talking about? I'm going to have you look at this camera. Introduce yourself. Who is Daisy?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you. My name is Daisy Odeko. I am a mother of 2 children. I am a wife, and I'm born again, a pastor, and a social media influencer, and a social media trainer.
And you're also a teacher.
Yes, and I'm also a teacher, part-time teacher.
You tell me about it. Is it PPI?
Yes, PPI.
What is that? Naulizia. I'm asking for them.
Okay, PPI is simply pastoral program. It's a Christian-based program that happens in public schools every once a week, mostly on Fridays. Yes.
Nice. And you're also a Sunday school teacher?
I'm not a Sunday school teacher at the moment, but initially I was trained to be a Sunday school teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Sawa. What does that find you? Pull up. Papa Shirandula, how did you end up acting for such a big production?
So when I was in high school and I was just about to finish Form 4, I asked the Lord to show me what my talent is. And I took time to pray about that. And after some time, the Lord showed me that I can act. So that's how I started acting. I did a few plays in high school. And then after school, things were very hard at home. My parents didn't have money to take me to college. And so I decided to go to the theater and check out, the auditions that they have. So I auditioned for quite a number of shows. Some were successful, some were not. And then there's a play I was doing with some director, and he really liked me.
Yeah.
So an opportunity came to do an international play. And Papa Shirandula was also part of the play. And that's how we met. And he looked at me the first day, he was like, I have a script for you. Yes.
And that's how you got into Papa Shirandula?
Yes, that's how I got into Papa Shirandula.
What was it like being Naliaka?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
First of all, Papa being my father in the show, one thing that people might not know is that he was not just a father in the show, but he was like a real father, a mentor to me, and he played a very big role in my life. Yes, from when I wanted to get married, getting children, he was there. And you know, I remember this one time I told him that I'm now ready for marriage. He was like, no, you're still a baby, you're still a child.
How old were you, Kwani?
I think I was around 26 then, and he was like, no, you're still young. Do you know, he took me for a date just to counsel me. He was like, you can't just get into a relationship like that. Is it somebody that you know of? Where is this guy coming from? Do you share the same values? So I can say that he really played a very big role in my life. Yes.
Also, it's not just someone you were acting with.
No.
He became like family.
Yes, family, father. And he used to ask me very difficult questions, and I used to be very comfortable with him.
Yeah.
We would talk about anything and everything. And when I had serious questions to ask about life, I would talk to him. He was also like almost like my best friend in some way. Yes, I really trusted him as a father. Yes.
So his passing away must have really affected you.
Oh my God, it did affect me because I didn't see it coming. You know, when just before he passed, we were doing a project together. We were shooting back to back. We were talking. I mean, everything was fine. Everything was going on so well. So, and that time I was also very pregnant. And, you know, I didn't tell him I was pregnant. But, you know, he was a person who used to like speak things in a very sarcastic way. So I remember on that day, I went on set, and of course he saw how tired I was.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was like, you didn't tell me you're pregnant. So he started making jokes out of, you know, my pregnancy.
Yeah.
But I just brushed him off, So we were talking. I mean, everything was fine. So his death came as a big shock, a very, very big shock to us as the whole crew.
How did you get the news?
I'd gone to the bank, and then I started receiving calls. I'm like, hey, Papa amekufa. Have you heard the news? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? This is somebody we were talking like just a week ago. And I mean, everything was fine. And I mean, I didn't believe it. I was in so much denial. I rushed to Karen Hospital immediately. And I mean, I was just in my, you know, home clothes, nothing. Yes. So when I went to Karen Hospital, it didn't still hit me. And I was like, no, this is a bad dream. It can't be true. And you see, it was at that time when COVID was, it had really hit, you know, and they didn't even allow people to get close to him and all that. So we stayed in the hospital there for quite some hours because they were trying to find a car to just come and pick him up and take him, you know, to the morgue. It still didn't hit me. So as I was sitting in the hospital, I met a guy, and then I asked him, can you please show me where he's lying because I'm the daughter. So he took me to where he was lying. It was in a room, and then like you could see through, and I saw him. He was lying there with a white bedsheet. And I was like, no, this is not true. I started praying for him. And I was like, oh God, it can't be true. In the name of Jesus, stand up, rise up. And then I was looking at the guy. I'm like, can you see his stomach moving? Can you see his stomach moving? He's like, no, he's dead. I'm like, no, he's not yet dead. Me, I don't believe he's dead. Yeah. So after that, we took his body. We went to the morgue. So the assignment was still not done. That time I'm not crying. I've not cried. I've seen people crying.
Because you still feel like he's just sleeping.
No, he's just sleeping. These people have made a mistake. They don't even know what they're talking about. So I thought, like when we get to the morgue, I'll be given another chance to pray for him because we used to pray together a lot. And that was before the show. And I mean, this show we were doing, I'd really encouraged the guys. I was like, this show, it will be a nice show. And I mean, God is with us and all that. So I was like, no way, this guy is not dead. went to the morgue. We were not even given a chance to like even get close to him. I was like, no, I want to see him. I want to pray for him. They're like, no, you can't get
Access to him.
yes, because of how this thing is. You might, be infected by it. So I still didn't cry. I went back home. So when I went back home, like what really hit me is like when I got home and then I found my house manager. She was one who was crying. Like, I'm like, okay.
Kunaendaje?
I mean, why are you so emotional? Yes, and it's not like you met this person. I still didn't cry. I was like, no, it's not true. It can't be true. I'll pray until something happens. He has to rise, from that kamog, yeah? So, like, the way things were, he didn't take so long. Like the following day, he had to be taken to his shags. And I was there, and I mean, that's when it started hitting me during the, burial. I didn't manage to go because I told you I was very pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, it hit me, and I mean, it was bad.
So even when the news, when announced, it's still not hitting you?
No.
Because you were like, I still can pray and bring him back to life.
Yes. I mean, this is somebody we were talking. Yeah. Everything was fine. He used to call me mom. Yes, I mean, we used to we used to be very close. Very, very close. It's not just what you see like on TV. Yeah. Yes. I mean, he was involved in every part of my life. Yes. When the time I was there. Yes.
What do you miss the most about him?
Oh my God, I miss his hugs.
Yeah.
Yes. And just, I miss that father figure, like when we used to sit down and have breakfast together. And oh my God, he used to ask, like, how is your family?
Sorry, it's okay.
How are the children? And he would talk to me so much about marriage because the entertainment industry, a lot of people don't believe in family. But he's that one person that I met who really believed in family. He used to talk so much about his family. And he used to tell me, please just keep your family off social media, support your family, just love your children. And I used to admire how he used to love his family. Now, let me shock you. Do you know me and the daughter? We share birthdays, 15th September.
No
yes,
way.
Yes. The daughter is called Sherry. Wow. And we've been celebrating our birthdays for the longest time. It's only this year that we've not celebrated our birthdays together because she went to school. But every year we try and at least, do something together. And then he lied to me. I just came to know that he lied to me because he used to tell me that, my birthday is also on the 15th September. And when he died, that's when I knew, like, when he was born. So, I mean, I think he was just saying that so that...
it's the fatherly thing to do.
Yes, the fatherly thing to do. Yeah. And the first time I ever had a party, he's the one who did my party at his place with the daughter. So every 15th September was very special. I used to give him gifts, and I mean, it was very, very special, because I knew 15th September, there are two people to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just feel the need to tell you this. I think you'd be very proud of the woman you've become.
Oh, thank you.
Because I still remember the way you were like a little tiny girl.
Yes.
Okay, I was tinier.
Yes.
But he would be very proud of you. The way you're very passionate about the word. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Proud.
Thank you.
Yeah. So eventually you accepted. How was it?
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. So after that, and I couldn't even sleep at night. I couldn't even sleep at night. I used to spend a lot of time crying. I mean, we were close, very, very close. Not just what you see on TV. Like, he was like not my biological father, but he was such a strong father figure that I really trusted, apart from my biological father, then it was him. Like, we were very, very close.
Yeah.
Like, he used to drop me home. Like, and I mean, we used to talk about very deep stuff, yeah? So after some time, you know, like, it got to a place where, I mean, it's COVID, people are at home, I'm pregnant, I'm mourning. And I mean, people mourn differently.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I never used to shower.
That was you mourning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just used to lock myself in the room. I cry. And then when my husband tells me that he's about to get home, that's when I ran to the bathroom, I mean, and shower and try and look good. Now, I really thank God for a certain woman of God who realized that I was not well. And she's the one who walked with me in this journey and just telling me how to, you know, go through this season of grief. Yeah. And, you know, one of the best things that she ever told me is that, you know, what you're feeling is what the baby is also feeling. Yes. So for my healing, I just had to accept it, and it just took God. It took God. It took God, because, you know, anytime I'd step out, people would ask about him. And I'm like, okay, didn't you see that he's dead? Why are you asking me so many questions?
Yeah.
Because I'm grieving, you know. The public couldn't understand that, you know, like, this person is not just the father that you see on TV. This is somebody who's like really, really close to me. So when you talk about him like that, it really affects me. Yes. But eventually I accepted it.
Yeah.
You know, like, you would drive and, you know, you meet somebody and they say, sasa papa alituacha. I'm like, okay, yes. I mean, he's gone.
Yeah,
yes, please don't
be
talk
loud
about
about
that.
it.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to even, like, mention, you know, his name and everything. Yes, yeah.
So you must have had like easy time acting Papa Shirandula. I mean, being a cast member there, because, you know, you had a very strong support system from him.
Yes. Oh my God, I think our cast was the best, because we were like family, like real family. And that was because of Papa. He made us to just love each other and be there for each other, support each other. I remember, just like I told you, he was very strong in family. He believed in family so much. So he used to talk to the girls and tell them about marriage. I remember there's a time, there's a lady that her marriage was not, you know, going on so well. And Papa just had to step in into that marriage and talk to the husband. Yes, to this lady. He protected us. I mean, he was a father.
Yeah.
He was a father, like a real father.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, at some point I wanted to ask you, what are some of the things that we probably never got to know about him? And one of the things I'm picking is that he was very family-oriented.
Very family-oriented.
Family.
In fact, the first time I ever saw an actor getting married, it was him.
Oh.
Yes, it was him. We went for his wedding. We were so excited. And then he started speaking blessings upon us. He was like, we'll have weddings here. And then the second wedding that I saw was the wedding of one of the directors. Yes. And then after that, I think it was me, and then followed by so many other people. Yeah.
Nice.
So he paved way
for all of you. So
yes. He really believed so much in family. He loved the children. Yes. And he would ask about, you know, even how our families are, our marriages. Have you eaten? Are you okay? You know, now in this last, the last project we were doing together, now he even became now more than a father.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if it's like God was preparing us for his death or something, because he just became so more fatherly. Like, he used to ask very, you know, like very deep questions. And, you know, in this project we were doing together, I was also the daughter. So I remember this scene, we were driving together and I was with him in the car, and he was talking about family, how we should value family, how we should love family. And he was like, I wish I could tell the rest of the actors this same message, that family is so important. Yes, so he was a family man, very serious on family, very serious on family. He didn't take jokes when
it comes to his family.
Yes, not just his family, but
generally
also,
family.
Yes, yes.
Interesting. So now the transition from you've left Papa Shirandula, what was that like?
So after I left Papa Shirandula, I was pregnant. I gave birth.
You left because of going for maternity leave?
No. I was still acting when I was pregnant. But yes, I was still acting when I was pregnant. And then now I gave birth to my child. I started taking care of my child. And then it wasn't like very easy to go back because now the show, people went different ways. Though we tried coming together to do this show that he had started. And we were so hopeful. We thought that it would work, but unfortunately it didn't work. So I went back into ministry because I had always been doing ministry even before Papa Shirandula, though I'm not full-time,
A full-time minister.
Yes, I'm not a full-time minister. And then another thing, I also used to do business, which I'm still doing up to now. My husband and I run a production company. So that is what I've been doing, and farming too. Yes, and then recently I got a contract from USIU to train creatives. I started doing it from at the beginning of this year. So I just finished my second cohort, and it's so interesting and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you miss acting?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But one thing is that I'm always with actors all the time because I get to train them. I get to, work with them behind the scenes, manage some of their pages. Yes. But going back to screens, oh, yes, I do.
You do?
Yes. And I'm hoping to get back to screen very soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to be on standby?
Yes, just be on standby.
Looking forward to it. Love it. What was let's look at the highs and the lows. What was the best part of your acting journey? And then also the lowest moments in your acting journey? Let's start with the good.
Oh, the good part. Yeah. The good part is, I told you that, when I finished school, my parents didn't have money to take me to school. So me being selected to just being part of the cast of Papa Shirandula, it was such a big deal for me because the cast, most of the cast members were people who were already on screen doing acting. I was like the only person who had not been on screen. And so it was such a big deal even for my family. And because of that, I mean, we were able to even sort so many things at home, like school fees and even upgrade our lives as a family. Yes.
Oh, nice. So at least it gave you some like a boost in life. So did you go back to school?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Yes, I did. I went back to school. I did journalism. Yes.
Unajua kuna watu wangeonja pesa waseme not sure if education is important. So let me just, joke. What about the lowest moments? You've highlighted the one where your parents were, struggling.
Lowest moments
in the acting scene, yeah.
So I think there's a time we weren't I was not in a very, I think, good position, and Papa called me and we had a date with him somewhere around Carnival. And he was like, I don't understand you, but you're my daughter. I need to understand what is happening in your life. Are you stressed up? It was like a 1 hour, not even 2 hours lecture. Yes, and I remember I didn't say anything in the meeting. I was just crying. Yes, and I'm like, crying. I was just crying and crying and crying and crying. I don't know if that can pass as a low moment.
Yeah. I mean, it would, because you were probably going through a low moment and he picked up on it. And he called
Do you
you.
know he's the only person who picked up?
Yeah.
Nobody else picked. He was the only person who picked, like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Yes.
He really was a father.
He was a father.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you end up becoming a pastor, woman of God? Preach to us.
Wow. I've always loved the things of God, and I'd be lying to say that I had a very unique call, like, Daisy, I want you to be my servant. And no, I didn't hear anything like that. It was just a desire. It was a desire, because even when I was in Papa Shirandula, like maybe when you go for a shoot and it's not my turn to shoot, most of the time I would spend time counseling people. Yes, and people would come. It's like I even had a room for counseling. Yes, I miss those moments, by the way. Yeah, and I would counsel, like, every time I went for a shoot, somebody would be like, excuse me, can I please see you? Can I please talk to you for a minute? Can I please talk to you for a minute? I'm like, okay, come, let's go to the room. We'd sit down, we'd talk, and then we'd pray about that, and then I would follow up, yeah? So it is something that I've always desired to just, take care of people, watch over people. It's not something that I'm forcing myself to do, but I have a desire to see people really know the Lord and people connecting to God, because, at the end of the day, in everything that we do, it is God who created us, and there's nothing that we can do without Him.
That's true.
Yes.
Do you have moments where you are spiritually drained?
Oh, yeah.
Like you are like, today I don't feel like wearing that hat of a minister.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
come again.
Yes. I'd be lying to say that there are no such moments. Yeah. And especially like some time back, and I was like, oh God, is it really a must for me to be a pastor? Like, I don't want this thing anymore. And I used to tell myself, I think, I'm just gonna go.
Nijikaze tu.
Apana, sikujikaza. I'm like, oh God, please, I don't want to be a pastor anymore. Yes. And the more I used to say that, the more assignments
I've been sent your way.
Yes, being sent my way in a direct or, a very indirect way, yeah? So there are moments like that. In fact, it's something that happens to a lot of pastors because we are always giving and we don't have people to...
Pouring.
Yes, pouring.
So you have to find ways to pour back to yourself.
Yes, let me tell you. I was in the youth ministry for a very, very long time. And it was amazing. It was very amazing. So I decided to move from the youth ministry to the main church. So the crowd there is very different, yeah? So I joined a ministry by the name Special Care. So what is the work of Special Care? We visit the sick, we go for burials. When somebody has lost their,
loved one.
Yes, we go to the morgue, yeah? So, and just, help this person go through grief and all that. And, as I was, I've been doing it for quite some time. And I remember there's a time we even went to the prison to visit somebody who was, arrested. And sometimes you feel like your heart is almost hardened. You're like, I've gone for so many burials.
It's like you're becoming numb.
Yes, you're becoming numb. Exactly, yeah. So I really thank God for my leader in that department because she has walked with me. She has walked with me and just, showed me how to go about, special care ministry when I'm feeling like I don't even feel like doing it because there's a time I used to be very emotional, very emotional. I would hear somebody has lost, their loved one. I don't even know the person, but I'm there crying.
Then you suddenly get to a place where you're like,
yes, you're like, see, we keep on going for these things and all that. So it's also good for pastors to go for counseling. It doesn't show that, you're weak, but if there are people who really need counseling, it is pastors.
Yeah, because, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
It's true.
So now that begs the question, how do you fill your cup?
Wow. For me, I listen to messages and I read the Bible and I also pray. I do a lot of retreats, especially when I feel that, I'm overwhelmed. I just step back and get to a place whereby I'm just talking to God and just being in the presence of the Lord, because sometimes it feels empty. Sometimes it can feel empty.
Yeah.
Yes, especially after just, pouring out, and people look at you and think, wow, see you're strong, see you're powerful.
Kwa
ground mambo ni tofauti. So I remember there's a time when I was in the youth ministry, I used to be in charge of missions. So I was, the person who trained me for missions was a military person. In fact, he was, from the military and...
Oh, the actual military?
Yes. He was a pastor. And he used to tell me, you can't be head of missions and you're not fasting. It doesn't matter whether you have a baby or you don't have a baby. I want you to fast, And it really looked like it was really hard. And he was being hard on me. But I think he really helped me because, trust me, in ministry, people think that ministry is easy. It is not easy. I remember this one particular time, because of the position that I was in, we also used to do hospital missions. And it was amazing. I used to enjoy going to the hospitals and praying for the patients. And we used to go to very major hospitals every Wednesday to pray for the sick. And, you would hear very amazing testimonies of what God is doing. So after some time, that door was shut because they no longer could agree. Like the hospitals could not, let people who don't have clinical theology, pastors who don't have clinical theology, to come to the hospitals to pray. And there had been so many sagas around, pastors who come and pray for the patients and all that, yeah. So now that my pastor, who was in the military, used to say, you'll enter the hospital and act like you're going to see your patient. And I'm like, I don't have a patient. I say, act like you're going to see a patient. Go and pray for the
by
patient.
Fire, by force.
By fire, by force, and then get out. Yeah. So I can say he really built us.
Yeah.
Spiritually, especially in prayer.
Yeah.
Yes, in prayer. Oh my. When I got married, you just, that's when you know whether you're really born again or not.
Why, when you get married? What happens?
Because sometimes, like when you're single, you're there, you're going to church, you're serving the Lord. Now after you're married, now the thing that you're praying for is here. So I even started going to church late. I was pregnant with my first baby. And then I met my pastor at the gate.
President Kingston.
Yes, ndio kufika saizi. Yes, and you're a pastor. And then I told him, I normally have morning sickness. He was like, what? You're joking. If you have morning sickness, you should wake up earlier. Throw up.
Come to church.
And come to church. No excuses at all. Yeah. And I really thank God because of that kind of training, because it's not soft training. We are not pampered. Like, oh, God is going to bless you. Whether you're sick or not, you must serve the Lord.
Yeah.
You must really serve the Lord.
I love
and,
that.
And if there's one thing that my pastor has really put in our heads is serving the Lord. So in my church, everybody serves the Lord. Everybody's in a department. Everybody, is doing something. There's a time I missed coming to church, and my pastor noticed I didn't come to church. The following day, I didn't know he knows everybody.
Aya. Okay, to msomo.
Apana.
Oh, he was a bit gentle.
No, he was gentle. Yeah, he was gentle. He was like, where were you? And that time he's preaching. Where were you?
This is in Ukombele?
Yes. Me nakanga place moja. Like, even when I was in class, I don't change seats. Yes, I just sit at one seat. When I'm not there, you'll notice I'm not there. And I love sitting at the front, yeah? He was like, where were you? And he was like, come and tell the church where you were.
Aya.
Yes, and I was feeling, oh my God. I'm so embarrassed. And then I told him I was so down. I couldn't come to church. And I was facing the congregation. And he was like, who told you that we come to church because we are happy? He was like, no, even when you're discouraged, that is the time that, you need to come to church. And I mean, those words really meant so much to me, because I've never had, that excuse again of, feeling discouraged, I can't go to church, feeling discouraged, I can't serve the Lord. Whether I'm discouraged, I will go, I will show up. Yes.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I feel like there's somebody out there who needs to hear that, because we need to stop normalizing the narrative of, I only go to church when I have a testimony.
Yes.
But when I'm going through the test, I'm not going to go to church.
Yes. I'm going to watch online. No, you show up. And in fact, in
I feel attacked, but continue. Continue. The Lord looks at the heart.
The Lord looks at the heart. I'm addressing you directly, yeah?
Stop going through the corners.
Yes. And in our church, for you to be a worker, you have to come for the morning prayers, because you can never give what you do not have.
True.
Yeah, so our morning prayers start at 6 o'clock. So for me to be in church at 6 o'clock, I have to wake up very early and prepare. And one of the things that I've really embraced and I really enjoy about just coming to church early for the morning prayers. I've realized that if I don't go for the morning prayers, it affects my whole Sunday. Yeah, even when I'm in service, I'm like, oh God, praise and worship. What are you guys doing?
You're a bit off.
Yes, I'm off. I'm criticizing. I'm like, media team, they're not projecting. What's wrong with them and all that? But when I go for the morning service, I feel so relaxed. I feel like my heart is ready to even receive the words. Yes.
What is your greatest testimony? When we talk about God's faithfulness and God rewarding those who are also faithful to Him, what is the greatest testimony that the Lord has given you?
My greatest testimony is preservation, because I was such a sickly child. I used to be in, out of the hospital, in, out of the hospital, in and out of the hospital, yeah. And I mean, that thing also came back after some time, and the devil really tried attacking my health so much. And I was very down, very, very down, especially after 2020, yes. And I think my mind was just not functioning well. I didn't want to stay where people are. And I mean, I just wanted to be by myself. But I didn't know, I mean, depression was slowly
creeping in.
Yes, creeping in. And I used to get very funny headaches. I didn't want light. I used to enter the house. I'm like, guys, see many lights, Stucky light kabisa. And God healed me supernaturally. There's a time I was very, very sick. I was in the room alone. Like I couldn't even lift my head. And let me tell you, I don't even know how this song came by. I went on YouTube. I couldn't even lift my head, and then I played the music. I wasn't even looking at the song.
The laptop, yeah.
Yes, and this song, I just loved it. It's by Theophilus Sunday. It's called Take Over, and I listened to that song. I used to repeat that song.
Unaweza tufanyia kapela ama you can explain.
Take over, Jesus, take over. I cannot know you by myself unless you take over. Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I repeatedly listened to the song and God healed me. God healed me. Yeah, so I can say one of the greatest things that God has done for me is healing. In fact, my parents were really scared of just, leaving me alone when they were going to relocate to Shags because I used to be such a sick child, very, very sick. But I've seen how God has just, preserved me and He's kept me healthy. Yeah? I used to be in and out of the hospital, out of the hospital. But I'm here to testify that if you trust in the Lord, it doesn't matter what sickness you're going through. Just trust in God and do what you're supposed to do. He's a good Father. He's a good Lord. And He'll heal you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it the in and out of hospital? Was it for particular illness? Or it's just
respiratory?
Okay.
Yes, respiratory. Yes, I had problem with, my breathing. It's something that, has... It tried even coming back again.
Yeah.
Yes, and you take medicine, nothing, yeah? Nothing really happens, yeah? But now I know what I'm supposed to do. I keep myself, very warm. I don't stay in very stuffy places, and if it's medicine that I need to take, I take medicine. Yes.
Okay. When you look at your life, even as we bring this to a close, what are you most proud of when you look at yourself and life so far?
Wow. The thing that I'm most proud of is the gift of salvation, because if it wasn't for the Lord, I don't know where I could have been. It is not because I'm special. It is not because I'm gifted in any way, but it is just by the special grace of God that I am here today. I've seen people my age dying, and I mean, they were doing so well. They were doing even greater things, yeah. But for me, I can say it is just the mercies of God that I am so alive and I am who I am today.
I love that. It would be wrong of me to release a mchungaji without the mchungaji releasing a word. So I'm going to have you look at this camera. I just want you to speak a word of encouragement to somebody who's going through a phase of, it's maybe a low moment, they're battling with life, left, right, and center. Just a word of encouragement to keep them going.
Hello there. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know where you're watching this video from, but I just want you to know that we serve a God who's not just a God of one chance, but He's a God of many, many chances. I don't know if you're discouraged and you feel like God has left you. I want you to trust in God again. I know maybe that marriage failed. I know maybe you even lost your child, but I just want you to focus on God, because God has you in mind and God desires you to have a good relationship with Him despite, what is happening. Please do not give up on God. Do not give up praying. I would like to encourage you to push yourself, especially when it comes to prayer, because in this world you will face very many tribulations, very, very many tribulations. And what is going to help you is your strength, yeah? So you have to really build capacity in prayer so that even when those situation comes, you don't fall down completely. So I would like to encourage you to just go back to God and go back to a place where you study the Word, read the Bible, and even go to church physically, and God is going to bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Daisy. How can people connect with you through social media?
Oh, yes. I'm on Facebook at Daisy Netia, Instagram at Daisy Odeko, TikTok at Daisy Odeko, and YouTube at Daisy Odeko.
Whoa. Come on, TikTok.
Yes, niko TikTok.
Nice. Thank you so much for gracing my podcast. It has been nice to see you in person.
Oh my God, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. But this is
This is your first interview in like years.
This is my first interview in so many years, and it's such a great privilege. Thank you for having me. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
I pray that anybody who's going to watch this, not just this episode, but all the episodes, you know, you're shooting, the lives will not remain the same again. They will be healed. People will find purpose. People will find clarity as they keep on connecting.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Daisy.
Thank you.
You are such a blessing and you look stunning.
Oh, thank you.
And we're looking forward to the thingy that you're going to do. So utatuwekea kwa mitandao ya kijamii.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Look out for that.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
May God bless you.
Amen.
May God expand your territory.
Amen.
May He keep preserving you.
Amen.
And may He continue sharing His testimonies.
Amen.
And to you too as well, bouquets of blessings. Thank you so much for keeping us company here at Women's Journal. My name is Susan Grease. I will see you in the next episode. Kumbuka kusubscribe. Blessings.